Welcome back to Chicago on a 74-degree night in the Windy City. The road team 10 up and 5 down in the last 15 NBA Finals games. That includes all 3 games this series. So the home court has not exactly been an advantage. We're set for the introduction of the starting lineups. Let's join with Ray Clay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Chicago Bulls welcome the world's greatest fans to the Chicago Stadium. Tonight's Game 4 of the NBA Finals is between the Phoenix Suns and your Chicago Bulls. Now for tonight's lineups. First for the visiting Phoenix Suns. At forward from Auburn, 6'6" Charles Barkley.
Experience in the finals might be uptight at this point in the series, but that is not the case. It's because their coach Paul Westphal has told them to have fun at the finals, and that's exactly what they've been doing, led of course by Charles Barkley, who you saw joking around with Marv Albert. Charles has been enjoying the city. He took in a baseball game and is even having fun at the mandatory media sessions. My ears. Okay, on a more serious note, as far as the elbow goes, Dr. Richard Emerson says it's about 25% better. Charles is in pain, especially when he extends his arm after his shots, but if you ask him how he feels, he simply says, I feel good, and says it with a smile. Marv?
Yes, thanks, Anna. Charles does have a most unique way in preparing for the NBA Finals.
Well, I don't think Michael Jackson has anything to worry about.
All right, Hugh Evans, Ed T. Rush, Bill Oakes are the officials. We saw different matchups in Game 3 utilized by Paul West. Westfall, what are you looking for here tonight?
Paul Westfall's going to change up during the course of the game. Yes, KJ will play Michael Jordan at times as Horace Grant misses his first jumper, but he's going to change up. You'll see Richard Dumas play him. You'll see Dan Marley play him. And here's one of the adjustments. He wants Dan Marley bringing the ball up the floor a little bit more, take some of the pressure off KJ, and after 62 minutes, he may need some help tonight.
Johnson finding Mark West all by himself. Missed assignment by the Bulls.
Well, what happened was that the Phoenix Suns set a back pick, and both men went to KJ and then hit Mark West for easy two.
And it is Dumas on Jordan here at the start. Pippen with the recovery, trying to hit Cartwright, but Barkley alert was right there for the steal. And here comes Kevin Johnson. A minute gone by, a 2-0 Phoenix lead. Grant with the rebound. Armstrong with Barkley back. So the Phoenix Suns return to the offense. Johnson, 11 for 24, 25 points in Game 3, along with 9 assists. A stellar turnaround performance. Dan Marley hit 6 from three-point range. Mark West fouled by Bill Cartwright, who would not allow for possession.
Had the first play happen, Mark West set a back pick. Both defensive players instead run to the corner. It'll leave West wide open, rolling to the basket. One player, two players go to the corner. No one rotates underneath West for the score.
Back to the live action. Barkley backs in, faces a double team. Dumas is open. Richard Dumas had a strange game on Sunday night. Played quite a bit of the first half. Shot well, did a nice job, but did not see much action in the second half. Bulls have missed their first 3 shots. Cartwright double team. Grant with the recovery. Suns 4, the Bulls 2.
Okay, what Coach Paul Westfall is doing, he got Charles Barkley playing Cartwright, and so he's mixing up his assignments defensively to try to throw the Bulls off.
Left-hand move cut off by Jordan. Dumas to the reverse. Richard Dumas has been getting the good start early. That has been the pattern, and he's come out with a couple of hoops here in the early going. Phoenix 6 and Chicago 2. Michael Jordan hitting on his first attempt.
Well, that time you had Richard Dumas guarding Michael Jordan, and see, Richard Dumas is not used to running off of picks, and they set a pick on him.
Dumas with a beautiful move off the fake to beat Pippen, set up by Barkley.
Scottie Pippen ran over, formed a double team with Horace Grant. It was a double team that was a difficult one because the floor was so spread as Michael goes to the basket, misses, but Horace Grant tips it in. What happened was Phoenix never hesitated. They were attacked against the press immediately. Easy score, 2-on-1 against the back line.
Kevin Johnson, bothered by B.J. Armstrong. They isolate Dumas against Pippen. And Pippen plays it well. He stops him. Here's it from the crowd. One on the shot clock. It is waved off. It's a 24-second violation. Excellent defensive sequence by the Bulls. Phoenix 8 and Chicago 6. We're just underway. Game 4 of this best-of-7 NBA final series. The Bulls up 2 games to 1. Game 5 here in Chicago on Friday night. And the Suns want to make it a Game 6 back in Phoenix on Sunday. Michael Jordan is 2 of 3. Marley gets down, so the Suns take advantage on the transition and lead 10-8.
Michael shoots a jump shot. The man guarding him takes off immediately, runs down the floor. The way you stop that is you jam the guy who runs out of bounds, put a big man on him so he can't throw that baseball pass.
Well, again, Mike, that wasn't Michael Jordan's fault that time because Marley's not guarding Michael Jordan. That was Scottie Pippen who was guarding Marley, and that was his fault.
Dumas. And Pippen moves back. Pippen all the way. Bulls and Suns are tied at 10. And Armstrong picks up Johnson in the backcourt. It's back to the pressure of Armstrong against Johnson. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Chicago. And it will be Phoenix ball with 8 on the 24. Barkley with his first shot. Pippen works his way inside. Oh, what a move by Scottie Pippen. The Bulls lead by 2.
See, the only problem when you got all these new mismatches, you have to, on Phoenix side, you have to remember they're not used to playing these Chicago Bull players. They're used to playing other Bull players, so now they're going to have to get used to that.
A timeout is taken by the Bulls. 6-0 run for Chicago.
Charles Barkley makes a great reverse pivot move on the baseline, goes up strong to the rim, but the defense by Chicago, Grant from behind blocks it. Charles doesn't quite agree with the call. After the block shot by Horace Grant, Charles Barkley does not agree. Goes after Bill Oates, the official, and lets him know. It looks like Oates is ready to hit him with a technical foul. Instead, he lets it go and walks away. You need to remember the incident that took place in Madison Square Garden with Scottie Pippen.
Yes, that was back in game 2 of the series, a game that saw 6 technical fouls called, and it was Scottie Pippen throwing the ball at the official Bill Oates, who had the quick thumb that night, and Pippen was thrown out. Chicago lost that game to the Knicks 96-91. Knicks had a 2-0 lead, and then Chicago came back, reeled off 4 straight victories. So you're saying that perhaps the trigger-happy situation as Johnson forced it, and a loose ball foul is called on the Suns. Is it your feeling that the league would prefer a bit more compassion when it comes to ejections in critical situations?
I think Bill Oates used excellent judgment that time. I think he'll be the first to admit that he made a mistake in the game at Madison Square Garden. He missed the call. It was not a double dribble or 2 hands on the basketball. Then he compounded the mistake by throwing Scottie out of the game. This time, good decision. Walk away, let it go, let him continue to play.
Jordan with the shot clock running down. Cartwright gets to it.
Plus, Marv, you have to remember, people come to see the stars. They don't want to see them thrown out of the game.
Unless there is a solid reason for it. Cartwright not able to hit. Grant with a spectacular tip. Horace Grant off to a fast start. He has 6. The Bulls 14. The Suns 10. Horace Grant started slowly in game 3. He was involved in early foul trouble, then came on late before fouling out. West off a double team. Rebound, Grant. Well, the Bulls have to like the intensity they're getting here as Armstrong finishes off the break to give Chicago a 6-point lead.
Ahmad Rashad mentioned after that last time out, Phil Jackson was very happy with the intensity of the basketball team, but they had come out strong, just talked about minor adjustments, but basically overall pleased with what was going on.
Bad shot taken by Kevin Johnson, and the Suns fortunate that it was knocked out of bounds by the Bulls.
Point of emphasis for Phoenix, keep Chicago off the offensive boards, and that's their main man, Horace Grant, who gives them those second shot opportunities.
It is a 10-0 run for Chicago. Meanwhile, Phoenix has missed its last 5 shots. 5:11 remaining in this first quarter, and the Bulls lead 16-10. There's Oliver Miller, the rookie from Arkansas, checking in for the first time, replacing Mark West. Marley not given any room from 3-point land. Miller, Barkley, Charles getting the good position, and the Bulls now lead by 4. For Barkley, his first field goal. Dumas on Armstrong. Kevin Johnson back defending against Jordan.
You may have noticed that Michael could have taken a quick shot when he first came down. Steal this time by Richard Dumas in transition.
Behind the back and hits on the drive. What a move by Richard Dumas. He now has 8.
It was a fantastic steal as well, and a great offensive play. Another steal here by Phoenix.
And it's Dumas with the numbers. Surprised Barkley with that pass, and it was deflected out by Chicago.
Producing some easy scores of their own by playing good defense. Dumas shoots the passing lane, then gives a little behind-the-back action as BJ reaches for the steal and finishes.
And a reach-in foul. B.J. Armstrong called for his first.
Before the steal by Richard Dumas, I mentioned that Michael Jordan had a quick early shot, but instead you saw him pull it out, reverse the basketball. One of the things Chicago wanted to do tonight, use more time up on the 24-second clock. Don't get into Phoenix's tempo, play their tempo. Make Phoenix play defense.
Pick and roll resulting in the turnover. Pippen for Armstrong. Chicago leads by 4 as we come up on 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Dumas, yes. Richard Dumas, 5 out of 6 for 10 points.
Well, since Richard Dumas is playing so well, it's going to be interesting to see if Paul Westphal playing in the fourth quarter, because he hasn't been playing in the fourth quarter.
Sarcastic reaction to that foul call against the Suns. It was called on Barkley. The Bulls went to the line only 9 times during that triple overtime. The Suns 31 times.
Yes, the crowd happy that Michael Jordan is getting a whistle early in the game and a chance to go to the free throw line. They shot so few, only 9 attempts in game number 3, that Michael may have forgotten how to shoot him. He only made 3 out of 6.
They changed the foul. It's Oliver Miller called rather than Charles Barkley. Bulls lead by 3. Here's pressure by Chicago. Miller's pass picked off. Caught right. Played by Barkley. Jordan. Yes. 7 points for Michael Jordan. The Bulls lead 21-16.
Another thing that Phil Jackson wanted his team doing, get Michael Jordan down lower with the basketball. Not almost up at the foul line to post up, but down deep near that low block. That's where he caught it that time. Easy jumper for him.
Charles Barkley said after that triple overtime game the other night, Michael took, what, 43 shots? That's Wally for 3. So Michael took 43 shots. He's going to be icing his elbow, too. Pippen gets inside. Phoenix will talk it over.
If you get Michael down low enough, the double team can't get there soon enough, he'll just shoot it over the top of Kevin Johnson. And then this is one opportunity that Scottie Pippen just couldn't pass up in transition. Miller trying to guard him. No way we pull this out. We score.
Not too many teams have been asked to come back from a triple overtime loss. How difficult was it for Phil Jackson coming back from that 3 overtime defeat? We talked about that with Phil yesterday.
It's usually like 24 hours. It takes a full day to get it out of the system. By last night, I felt pretty comfortable again that, you know, everything was okay. I got it out of my system through viewing it, obviously, and finding out the second time through what I had to see. And then I got it out of my system by talking to the coaches and talking to them about, you know, realistically, where are we here? And then finally, just by getting some exercise, and then that was all right.
You know, it's amazing. Magic and I feel the same way when we're done working with you, and a little bit of exercise makes us feel much better.
What a cheap shot attempt off a serious issue. Just awful, Magic, that I have to live with this the entire season.
Well, I'm not going to get into that one, but I am going to get into this one. Now you see Kevin Johnson is coming back down to relieve some of that pressure, because Phoenix had turned the ball over last time, and I think Paul Westphal wanted to get Kevin back down there.
And Kevin Johnson able to penetrate. The Bulls now lead 23-18 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining first quarter. Bulls have hit their last 5 shots. They are 11 of 18. Here is Jordan, that time guarded by Chambers. Chambers! Oh, Chambers not able to hit, but he's fouled. Chambers did well in eluding the block of the two guys chasing him, two of the best defenders in basketball, and Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
Earlier, when Marley ran out, Michael Jordan was in the corner. This time he was at the top of the circle, so he was the deepest man. Chambers took off immediately on the jump shot. He goes to finish it off with a dunk, but the foul makes the ball pop back out again.
Foul committed by Pippen.
Remember, to count as 2 points, the ball must pass through the net to count as 2. There are shots that have gone in and popped back out of the net again, which means you don't get 2 points, Mark.
Tom Chambers, 27 minutes. The other night did a nice job, 5 for 9, 12 points. So the Bulls now lead by 3. Conway, Grant, Pippen up front, Jordan and Armstrong at the guard. Battle between Chambers and Cartwright on the foul session on Chambers.
This is a real key matchup. Chicago, knowing that Tom Chambers is on Bill Cartwright, where they go right into him, and Chambers just called for the push in the back.
Now Jordan guarded by Dumas. Marley over to help, but leaves Pippen open. And Pippen goes to the hoop.
No interior defense that time. No one stepped up to meet Scottie Pippen. Everybody in the stadium knew he was going to fake and put it on the floor. There was nobody in front of him.
Well, I think that's the problem when Phoenix just keeps switching these matchups with Jordan. You know, you got one guy guarding him one time down, the other guy the next time. Horace Grant is called for a foul there on Charles Barkley. So they're having a problem with their team defense because of all the defenses that they keep changing.
Scottie Pippen's going to get the ball. Look at the lane to the basket. Somebody's got to step up and take him before he drives it down the lane. Nobody does. Too easy going in there.
Well, a forgotten man, Rodney McCray. Hearing the rumbling from the crowd as he gets set to check in. An injury-hit season for Rodney McCray. In his 10th NBA year out of Louisville, coming back from arthroscopic knee surgery, missed 17 games, a disappointing year. In fact, he himself says he feels his contribution has been 0. Early entrance, though, for McCray. Barkley getting the position on Pippen, and Charles with his second field goal. He has 4. The Bulls 25 and the Suns 22. Bulls have hit their last 7 straight as Michael Jordan makes it 4 for 7 for 9 points. And Chambers is fouled again.
See, what you have here is you have Bill Cartwright guarding Tom Chambers, and Tom Chambers guarding Bill Cartwright. Now, we're going to see which one is going to take advantage of the other. And last time down, Bill drew a foul on Chambers. This time, Chambers drew a foul on Bill Cartwright using his quickness.
And somebody may have questioned why was Barkley taken off of Cartwright, because, you know, it was so good for Charles in the last game. He conserved all that energy playing Bill. Chicago doesn't go to him that much. The reason is because it would have put Chambers on Grant before he was just taken out. Chambers can't change ends of the floor or jump with Grant on the offensive board, so they put Barkley back on Grant.
Chambers now 3 out of 4 from the line. Bulls 27, Suns 23. 1:10 left in the first quarter. Here's Cartwright. Just under 1 minute remaining in the quarter. Jordan putting the move on Marley. Changed his mind. Last touch by McCray.
Here's another problem. Now, who does McCray play? Does he play Dumas, who's very active and quick, or does he play Barkley, who will overpower either Pippen or McCray? Doesn't matter. Right now, they just switched back and put McCray on Barkley, then Pippen ran over to take Barkley.
And Charles Barkley is hit 3 for 5. He has 6 points. Bulls by 2. Bulls have led by as many as 7. Michael Jordan on target. He's 5 out of 8. 11 points. Chicago 29. Phoenix 25. Here's pressure by the Bulls. seconds left in the quarter. Johnson gets inside. Armstrong on the run. Chambers getting back. The lead for Pippen. 11 seconds left in the quarter, and Johnson went down in a collision with Armstrong.
No collision, Marv. BJ pushed him down. There's a little thing going on here. I think that BJ felt that KJ had elbowed him. After that, BJ just threw him down on the ground.
KJ tries to hold off to get the ball inbounds when they start pressuring Chicago. BJ felt that him holding off was a little too hard. He shoved him in the head. There's the push to the ground. That's no accident.
And it's being called a flagrant foul on B.J. Armstrong. So Kevin Johnson will go to the line. Kevin Johnson, 82% free throw shooter. Now Trent Tucker has checked in for Bill Cartwright.
The offensive man wants a little room to get it inbounds. The defensive man doesn't like the fact that he pushed him in the head. Another example of when the second foul is caught many times by the officials, not the first.
Just taking another look, little massage move by Kevin Johnson leading to the push. Armstrong, time running out. After one here in Chicago. Hot shooting by the Bulls, 15 for 24, 63%. A physical finish to the quarter for B.J. Armstrong, an unlikely combatant. Welcome back to Chicago. Marv Albert, along with the czar of the telestrator, Mike Fratello, Magic Johnson, Ahmad Rashad, Hannah Storm. Bob Costas will be along with the Prudential halftime report. Talked about the sore elbow of Charles Barkley. You ever suffer from telestrator elbow, czar? I know you've seen icing it down after telecast.
I have to deal with that frequently, particularly when given many opportunities in one game, and then in triple overtime games, it's really difficult to bounce back.
And Charles Barkley, despite that injured elbow, 3 of 5, 6 points in the first quarter. Danny Ainge has checked in for the first time. Stacey King has come on, as has John Paxson. Marley with the rebound. Nice fake on McRae. So the Suns now trail 31 to 29. Jordan and Paxson at the guards, with King, McRae, and Williams up front. So Scott Williams, Stacey King, and Rodney McRae on the Chicago front line. And Jordan is being guarded by Marley. Jordan. Barkley gets to it.
Ahmad had mentioned coming out of the timeout that Chicago went with McRae over King. A nice backdoor pass by Charles Barkley to Danny Ainge. Chicago had gone with McRae rather than King for more quickness on the floor, because McRae is noted to be a pretty good defender. Now both players are out on the floor in an unusual unit out there for the Chicago Bulls.
First time McRae has played in this series. Seldom used during the season. Jordan, yes, and it counts.
Well, Michael Jordan feels he can beat Dan Marley off the dribble anytime he wants to, and he does it right there, scoop it for 2. Now, that's the reason why they switched KJ and put KJ on him in game 3, and now you can see that Marley is back on him in this game here.
And Michael Jordan upset with himself, 1 of 3 from the line. Chambers was called for that foul. Miller was expecting contact, kicked out by Williams of the Bulls.
Phoenix wastes no time trying to come back at you. If they can get it down, post someone up quickly, they go right to it.
Well, they changed their game now. They're going back to the regular season philosophy, trying to beat you down the court and score at will on you.
Now Barkley facing the triple team.
Charles was so concerned about McRae coming down from the top that he lost sight of Stacey King from behind him.
Jordan with 15. The Bulls lead 35-31. Patrick, you mentioned the Suns' regular season philosophy. They average 113 per game, leading the NBA, second in shooting at 49%. Here's Chambers. Yes, a 2-point Chicago lead.
Well, they felt that in Game 3 that they went back to that philosophy. Got a lot of open shots in the game in Game 3 because they were pushing the ball up early, and they're trying to do that again. Barkley with the steal.
Well, Charles had that diagnosed, and he's tied the game at 35. Had some words of advice for Jordan as he finished it off.
Oh, yeah, he's just letting them know that he's here to try to win a championship. This is this is a very interesting game. You felt that the Bulls were going to take advantage of the situation because they came out strong. Now here comes Phoenix back strong.
Let's go back a moment ago to Michael, who's made a decision here, a concerted effort to go to the basket, 7 for 11 from the floor at this point. And then Charles showing Michael that he wants to play in this game as well. The best for a guy his size that's stepping up in the passing lane and then taking it the length of the floor.
Strong start for Michael Jordan. He's hit 7 of 11 for 15 points, although he did not have a usual Michael Jordan type game on Sunday night. It has been a splendid playoff run for Michael. I asked him, is this the best that he has played all season long?
I think it has been, because I think what's at stake is a little bit more challenging than what was at stake going through the 82 games. You know what I mean? Once you go through it a certain amount of times, you have monotony starting to set in, so you don't really have the challenge that's there today or at this particular time. And I think that's helped me elevate my game and be more consistent with my play.
You kind of miss the dark sunglasses look on you.
Little attempt at humor there, Michael. Michael did have the glasses off. So. Ainge on the follow. 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. And the Bulls now lead 37-35. Here's Jordan. 19 for Jordan.
There aren't a whole lot of jump shots coming out of Michael Jordan this evening. He's taking it to the rim.
And plus that Dan Marley is back guarding him a lot, and he's just taking Dan off the dribble.
Paxson looking to spot up. Jordan through the foul. Well, Phil Jackson told us after practice yesterday he wanted Michael going to the rim, and that has been the case here in the first half.
Well, he certainly elevates his game here as he finishes with the right hand. Then that was so good, he decided to come back again and try it with the left. Watch Marley yelling for help immediately. Where's my help? Come on, guys, close the lane down. But a little too late as Michael draws contact.
I couldn't believe that I read in a Chicago paper today that one of the sports writers said that Michael Jordan has lost a step. He looks like he's getting old because he couldn't finish and win the game for him in Game 3. And it just blew me right away.
How quickly they forget.
Michael Jordan with all 9 of Chicago's points in the second quarter, and he has 20 of the Bulls' 40. Make it 21 of 41, and the Bulls now lead 41-35. And here's pressure by Chicago. Now they double up on Johnson. Miller had to save it. The trapping of the Bulls paying dividends here. West for Barkley, and he's fouled by Williams.
That was an excellent read that time by West. Yeah, it was a little shaky getting the ball over the half-court line, but then he had Ainge behind the three-point line or Barkley inside. He picked out Barkley on the inside.
But it was John's fault. John Paxson, he should have stayed with Barkley. Instead, when West pump fake, he thought he was going out to Danny Ainge. John ran that way, and he dumped it right into Barkley.
One of the things coaches emphasize, don't leave until the ball is in the air, then make your rotation out, because great players will ball fake you, get you to run, and then they'll thread the needle in the heart of the defense.
Barkley on the line for the first time, a 76% free throw shooter. Danny Ainge departing, replaced by Richard Dumas, who had the hot hand early at 5 of 6. Both clubs have shot well. Chicago 65% from the floor. West cuts it to a 3-point Chicago lead, and the Suns are shooting 50%.
Paul Westphal, I would think, feels pretty good. He hasn't had to play KJ on Michael a whole lot here so far, and they're still close enough. If he needs him a lot in the second half, he should be fresh.
Michael Jordan, 10 for 14, 23 points. It counts in the foul. Dumas blocked by King, and Dumas will go to the line.
Michael Jordan with the smaller KJ goes down the baseline, then just intends to elevate over the top and get a good look. But one thing that Phoenix has been doing, the long baseball pass, something that must be there in the scouting report. They can take advantage in transition after scores.
This Phoenix team is back to playing their running style of basketball. They're running after made baskets. They're running after missed baskets. They're just getting out, beating the Chicago Bulls down the court every single time.
Dumas to the line for the first time, 71% free throw shooter. 3-point play for the rookie Richard Dumas. The Bulls 43, the Suns 41. Michael Jordan scoring all 12 Chicago points here in the second quarter on 5 of 6 from the field. Illegal defense called for the first time. And now the matchup is Kevin Johnson guarding Michael Jordan, as the rotating on the defense continues against Jordan. Miller sitting down. Chambers is back. Now Johnson guarding Paxson, and it's Dumas against Jordan. Foul call. Dumas using the two hands to try and keep Jordan away.
I think that the change took place because Paul Westphal felt Michael's been getting down the baseline a lot. Let me put a bigger guy, a more athletic guy, to perhaps challenge his shot. Problem is, when the offensive guy is backing down, you cannot put two hands in his back.
Dumas goes 6'7", about 205. Here's Jordan. Dumas gambled, went for the steal, and it led to the foul.
That's one of the reasons why Richard Dumas is not on the floor at the end of games right now recently, because he gambles a lot defensively. He breaks the team defense down, goes for the steal, misses. It leads to an easy 2 free throw attempts for Michael.
Kevin Johnson called for the foul, reaching in. Jordan 4 of 6. He has 24 points. Michael Jordan bounced back from a subpar outing in the Knicks series with that 54-point explosion. They trapped Johnson. Help from Dumas. Chambers picked up by Pippen. Chambers shooting. Barkley keeps it alive. Barkley. Look out. It is Phoenix ball. Hugh Evans hanging in after the contact with Jordan and still able to make the call. Timeout taken. 6:59 remaining in this first half. Jordan trying to save it. Makes contact with the official Hugh Evans. When we come back, it will be Phoenix possession.
In game 3 with Kevin Johnson playing Michael Jordan, he couldn't get by him on the first step, so he would resort to backing down, trying to shoot over the top of Kevin Johnson. The difference, when Dan Marley's guarding him, Jordan tries to face the basket because he knows he can beat Marley. The difference in foot speed in tonight's game, he goes right around Dan Marley.
Well, the Bulls and Suns have each scored 14 points in this second quarter. Michael Jordan has scored all 14 for Chicago. Offensive foul. Bill Oakes with the call on Mark West.
It was a good call. Mark West was not squared up, did not set a good screen, turned into the defensive player who was trying to go underneath the back pick, actually caught him with his arm.
Now every time, let's see if Chicago can make some room in between them and Phoenix. Every time they've gotten a lead, Phoenix had come right back and tied the game.
Jordan guarded by Johnson with a rare miss, but Grant able to keep it alive. Another possession for the Bulls. 6.5 remaining in this first half. The Bulls lead by 4. They isolate Jordan against Johnson. Pippen for 3. Evan Johnson and Marley in the backcourt. Mark West, Charles Barkley up front, along with Richard Dumas. And the foul called. A hold on Paxson.
On that last shot attempt by Scottie Pippen, Richard Dumas ran out right away. And that time, John Paxson covered the backcourt correctly for him so that Pippen wasn't left stranded trying to follow through on a jumper with no ability to get back and cover Dumas.
West working hard for the shot. Mark West is 3 for 3, 6 points. The Bulls now lead 45-43.
He couldn't beat KJ off the dribble on that first step. KJ did a good job keeping the ball in front of him.
Jordan with some room. 11 of 16, 27 points. The NBA Finals record most points in a half, 35 by Michael Jordan. Game 1, last year's series against Portland. Phoenix getting back. Paxson for 3. Yes. The first field goal by a Bull aside from Michael Jordan in the second quarter. Bulls have matched their biggest lead, a margin of 7 with 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Barkley. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's pass deflected, handled by Grant. Now the Bulls lead by 9.
Well, what's happening here is Phoenix got to now slow the game down. Now it wants a timeout by Phoenix. But right now, this is Chicago. It's got their half-court offense going because of Michael Jordan is dominating the game. Phoenix must now find out what are they going to do in their half-court to combat Michael Jordan.
Thank you, Bob. Charles Barkley, the league's MVP, averaged 25 points per game, 5th in the NBA, 6th in rebounding, and averaged 5 assists per game. And a guy who is certainly enjoying being around the scene here during the NBA Finals, both in Phoenix and Chicago.
We mentioned back a few moments ago that when KJ guards Michael Jordan, he has the foot speed to stop his penetration. He does a pretty good job here taking away the lane, so Michael pulls back out. But the one thing Michael is doing now is using screens to free himself up. Now he has the jumper over the top of KJ. KJ just not big enough to get out there and challenge him. I just wanted to test my voice moving in a different octave, that's all.
Magic, he is soprano by golly.
Yes, a lot of soprano in that screen.
Both teams coming out of those timeouts with different ideas in mind. Hannah mentioned that Phoenix pointing out they must box out, keep Chicago off the offensive boards. Ahmad mentioned that Phil Jackson concerned with the fact that Michael's doing all the scoring. You got to get the other Chicago Bulls players involved in the offense was his point.
Well, what happened with Phoenix's side in terms of offensive rebound, see, you got all these guys playing different guys, and they're not used to playing them, and then you can go to the boards on them because they're not used to boxing out.
7-0 run by the Bulls. You saw the foul committed by Jordan. His first. Marley, who has had very few opportunities. Barkley with the save. Paxson gets to it. .410 remaining in the first half. Chicago seeking to go up 3-1. Phoenix trying to tie the series at 2. Jordan rebounded by Barkley.
Okay, Phoenix needs to slow it down and get a basket finally. They need to run some and get a basket. See, they're rushing their offense and turning the ball over.
Horace Grant with that steal. Here's Pippen. Paxson for 3. 3.5 left. First half. Bulls by 9. Barkley backing Grant. A strong power move by Charles
Charles very smart. Chicago didn't come the first time that he had it posted up. They're waiting for him to get to a certain spot. He's trying to draw double teams to kick out. They're not coming to double team until he gets very low, close to the basket. He's got to post up a little bit lower, then they'll come quickly on him.
Shot clock at 3, caught right. West with the rebound. Here's Johnson.
See, I didn't like that, Marv. They should have slowed it up. Charles had just hit. Come right back to him.
Grant. And the foul is called as Horace Grant hits the floor. Foul on Mark West. That is his second.
Barkley posting up, reading the defense. Everybody is staying at home for Chicago until the last second. Paxson's going to try and come late to double team, but it's too late. You can't let Charles get this close to the basket. He splits him and scores.
Horace Grant, 8 points and 10 rebounds. A terrific first half. Horace Grant named to the NBA's all-defensive second team, but he's the first to admit. Now Michael Jordan will get a rest. 27 points for Michael. 11 of 17 from the field. Scott Williams is back. Horace Grant the first to admit when people say he's the best defensive power forward of the game, he said maybe 1.5. He says Charles Oakley of the New York Knicks is #1 in terms of power forward, but Horace Grant, an excellent defender, and has had a very strong playoff series.
Well, one guy, Oakley, won't let you get the position you want on the low post. The other guy, Horace Grant, he blocks shots and grabs all the defensive boards.
Nice pass. Barkley fouled. Kevin Johnson hitting Charles Barkley on the hop, and the foul is called on Scott Williams.
And just to go back to that thought about defense, Oakley may be a better power forward defensively as far as strength and stuff, but there's other types of defense involved, like shot blocking ability, which this guy has and Oakley really doesn't have.
So Barkley to the line. He's 1 of 2 from the line. Suns now 8 of 10 from the foul line. Bulls 7 of 9. Both clubs have shot well. Bulls at 59% from the field. Phoenix just under 50.
I think this is more important for Phoenix in these last 2 minutes and 26 seconds than it is for Chicago. They cannot let Chicago get a big lead, like a 10-point lead, and get this crowd going.
The other factor, Phoenix not able to go to the major weapon in the triple overtime victory. Not able to go to the three-point shot. They've attempted only one, did not hit it. Holding foul on Ainge. Bulls not giving any room to the long bombers like Ainge and Marley. Have not been able to find the look to get off the shot.
You know why, Mark? Because they stopped Kevin Johnson's penetration. See, once you stop him from penetrating, like they're doing right now in the first half, then those Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen can play up on Dan Marley and Danny Ainge and take away the shot.
Grant 3 of 3 from the line. Game 3 on Sunday in the first half. The Bulls 1 for 1 from the foul line. So a different story here tonight. Bulls by 8. Hearing it from the crowd as he backs his way. Now here's a 3 attempt by Marley, and Dan Marley did get the good look.
And Barkley got the double team he wanted and kicked it out at the appropriate time. You've got to make a decision against Barkley. Do you go? If so, when do you go? And with his passing ability and unselfish play, it's a matter of picking out the right man. And if it's Marley, he has a habit of making three-pointers.
Has hit 6 the other night to tie an NBA Finals record. Oh, Barkley almost picked it off. Paxson for 3. Rebound Grant. And again, Danny Ainge able to get to the loose ball. Here's Marley spotting up for another 3. Yes! Dan Marley again. And he's brought the Suns within 2.
Because you got 2 3-pointers because Barkley penetrated, then they got him in transition and got the second 3-point.
A timeout taken by the Bulls with 1:20 remaining in this first half. Bulls right to it. 29 for Jordan. The Bulls 57, the Suns 53.
Something missing off of Michael Jordan this evening. The wrist brace on the right arm, the shooting hand is not there this evening.
Chambers with room. It was deflected by Grant. Grant with the block. Jordan around Marley. Jordan all the way! Yes, and it counts!
Well, Michael is dangerous when he gets the rebound and he can go coast to coast. He's going to dunk on two guys.
What a lane opens up. No one closes down. You've got to get to Michael sooner. You let him get inside the foul line area. You know he's going to take off from there, elevate, and keep flying to the front of the rim. You've got to get him to pick up that dribble by the dotted line area. The right wrist must be feeling better. The brace is off. He's 13 for 19 from the floor.
Horace Grant called for that loose ball foul, and Charles Barkley will go to the line.
It's just an empty feeling if you're Dan Marley, seeing Michael Jordan come at you full speed in the open court. You're backing up, you're on your heels, you turn and look for help, and there's no one there.
Well, remember when I was telling you in game 3, he did not come at anybody with a head of steam because he was tired. Well, tonight he's not tired, and he's the most dangerous when he's coming at you with a head of steam. He can go left or right.
2 days of rest certainly helping Michael. Did play some golf, I'm told, yesterday, but 31 points in this first half, 20 of the 31 here in the second quarter. He has 13 field goals. That is 1 field goal away for an NBA Finals record, most field goals in 1 half. That is shared by Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan. Bulls lead by 5 with 48 seconds remaining in the first half.
Well, the only thing Michael hasn't done in the first half is come up with a steal and knock down a three-pointer. So we'll see if he heads to his line.
However, despite the exploits of Jordan, the Suns are only 4 down.
That's what I was getting ready to say, that Paul Westphal must be feeling really good about his position in this game right now.
Armstrong. Last touch by the Bulls. Is trying to beat Chicago in transition. Barkley tried the 3.
Not so sure with the time remaining. It was just at 29 seconds when Charles went up for the shot. Might have been better for him to run it down. As you said, Magic, they should be feeling good. Only 4 down. They could have run it down right to the end and given Chicago very little time to try and score back at him.
That has not been one of Charles's fortes, shooting from downtown. Michael Jordan, 14 for 20. He has 33 points. Final seconds. Marley. Yes, and the foul. Potential 4-point play. The 3-pointer by Marley, and he's fouled by Jordan with 7/10 of a second remaining in the half.
Well, I tell you, Dan Marley has become a shooter in the NBA now. In the first couple of years, he couldn't shoot with any distance. He wanted to drive. Look at here. He takes the foul and still knocks it down. That's a sign of a guy who not only can shoot, but he's also big and strong where he can take the foul and still knock it down.
So you're saying in his early going in the NBA, you'd give him the outside shot.
Yeah, before he wouldn't take it, he just wanted to drive. And that's what shows you what hard work will do for you.
Barkley gets it off, would have counted. So the Suns sparked by some thunder late second quarter. Dan Marley with 13 points. He's hit 3 from long range, 3 from 3-point territory. Michael Jordan, 14 for 20 for 33 points in the first half. 22 of the 33 in the second quarter, and he has tied an NBA Finals record, a record that he shares with Isaiah Thomas, most field goals in a half. Welcome back to Chicago Stadium, the usual sellout crowd on hand. Next season will be the finale for the Bulls and the Chicago Blackhawks here at the stadium. The new building still under construction just across the street will be open for business. Barkley from Marley, and the Suns move within 1. At one stretch, the Bulls led by as many as 9. Armstrong and Jordan open up in the backcourt. Cartwright, Pippen, and Grant are up front. Pippen has been very quiet. Cartwright with a show the ball move on West. Grant shooting. Bulls 63. The Suns 60. Setting Phoenix, Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley in the backcourt. Richard Dumas, Mark West, and Charles Barkley up front.
Some team is going to have to take control of this game defensively and not offensively. Whoever wins the game will be because of defense.
West throw the layup. Armstrong pushing down. Jordan for 3. Michael Jordan, his first 3-point field goal attempt. Kevin Johnson only 1 of 6, 3 assists, 2 turnovers in the first half. Dumas posting up Armstrong, help from Cartwright, and Dumas lost it.
Try to hold it up there with one hand, that's what happened.
Pippen. Beautiful lead for Scottie Pippen, and a quick 20 taken by Paul Westphal.
Well, right here, Paul Westphal is going crazy. He's telling his team, what are you doing? Let's stick with our offense. Let's stick with what's got us back into this game.
Maybe Michael Jordan can do this. Maybe Charles Barkley can do this, depending on the size of the hands. But Dumas, use 2 hands when you pass the basketball, Richard. Otherwise, you're going to drop it against the aggressive double team. And when you turn it over against Chicago, they come back at you quickly and score.
So 5-point lead for the Bulls in this game 4 of the best of 7. Game 1, it was Jordan with 31, Pippen with 27, and a victory for the Bulls. They did it in game 2 in Phoenix, led by Jordan, who had 42. Barkley with the 42. Game 3, it was Marley hitting from 3-point land, tying an NBA Finals record, hitting 6 from downtown. Barkley rebounded by Cartwright. Charles Barkley 6 of 13. Michael Jordan once again with the extension, once again taking it to the basket.
But see, this is what happens when you got so many guys trying to guard Michael Jordan that's not used to guarding. He just takes Dumas, head fakes him to the baseline, comes back to the middle, and scores on him.
If you go back to the first half, we showed you him crossing over right to left. That time he gave you a little zigzag dribble. He started with the crossover, but came back to the right hand to come down the lane.
36 for Jordan. His 33 points in the first half, 2 away from an NBA Finals record. He scored 35 for the record in game 1 against Portland last season. Barkley. 8-point Chicago lead, looking to add to it. Barkley broke it up. Upset, felt that he should have picked it off. It'll be Chicago ball with 17 on the 24.
Up to this point in the game, Charles Barkley is 1 for 8 from the outside and 4 for 5 now from the inside.
Cartwright played by Barkley. Down to 5 on the 24. Down to 3. Jordan. And Barkley with the rebound. Pops it down. Dumas ahead of the field. Able to elude Jordan. The Bulls 68 and the Suns 62. Richard Dumas has 15.
Well, I tell you, that was one great outlet pass by Charles Barkley, because you had Marley and Dumas running side by side with Michael back, and he was able to lay it out enough knowing that Dumas was going to outrun Marley to get to the ball.
Cartwright fouled by West. That is number 4 on Mark West.
Barkley gets the ball, goes after the rebound, turns, and sees 2 teammates down there. Michael can't decide which guy he's going to throw it to at first. He goes all the way to Dumas for the score.
Tom Chambers will replace Mark West. Bill Cartwright looking for his first points. It has been an injury-hit season for Bill Cartwright back in February, placed on the injured list because of a sore back and sore knees. West departing. Chambers comes on. Last year, Cartwright missed 17 games with a broken hand. Missed 17 games during the regular season. This year, that's his first point. The Bulls lead by 7. Here's some pressure by Armstrong. Kevin Johnson has been very quiet to this point.
Yeah, he's not been able to penetrate and get down the middle of the lane. Also, let's take a look and see what the Chambers and Cartwright matchup if Phoenix try to take advantage of Bill Cartwright guarding Tom Chambers.
Cartwright called for that foul, his third.
They tell the big men step out and stop penetration. Well, Bill steps out, but a little bit too hard.
Well, that's what you want, though. You may think it's a bad foul, but actually it's not, because next time Kevin's going to be thinking about Bill Cartwright jumping out there, and he might not come as hard off that pick and roll, Kevin Johnson.
You're saying his bell is still ringing?
Exactly.
Chambers. And Grant able to get to it. Scott Williams has replaced Bill Cartwright. Jordan around Dumas. Yes, and it counts.
The idea of putting a bigger man on Jordan Dumas is good, except he's got to guard him off the dribble, which is bad. Richard Dumas cannot play Michael Jordan off the dribble.
I'm sorry, Mike, but no way can you put a man that's not used to guarding Michael Jordan or guarding guards on Michael Jordan, because Michael has too many moves for him. It's a good idea, but it's not working for the Phoenix Suns.
The idea is to put athleticism against athleticism, or somebody that might be able to leap and jump and challenge shots down low. But outside, when Michael takes him, like you said, no way he can play him off the dribble.
Biggest lead of the game, 10-point margin for Chicago. Chambers fouled by Williams. Scott Williams called for his third.
Now, I don't know where Scott Williams was supposed to go on that one. He stayed on the ground on the first fake when Chambers turned to the inside and showed the ball, then put his arms up straight, never left. It must be that his arms leaning forward a little bit broke the plane. Otherwise, pretty good defensive position to me.
Chambers 3 for 4 from the line. The Bulls 72 and the Suns 63. Michael Jordan has 39 points. Also there, Pippen. He was left free. Scottie Pippen takes advantage of the double team. Pippen has 14. The Bulls lead by 10. Johnson, rare jump shot for Kevin Johnson. That's only his second field goal. The Bulls lead by 8. Grant able to get down, and he's hammered by Johnson.
Well, Chicago just took a page out of Phoenix's book when they rushed the ball down the floor. You had Grant sitting there wide open, Michael Jordan threw a no-look pass to him, and KJ couldn't do anything but fouling.
When you got a big man who's got you 13 rebounds to this point in the game, you want to reward him every so often. And when he takes off and runs the floor at 6'10", and Michael sees him open, he's going to get him the basketball.
I always try to do that. A.C. Green, Kurt Rambis, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, if they run down the floor, I always try to get it to them.
Fourth team foul committed by the Suns. Barkley now guarding Pippen. Miller sets the pick. Johnson slicing through. Nice setup. Chambers rejected by Grant. Armstrong. Last touch by Chambers.
You see why they miss Horace Grant so much in Game 3, because not only can he rebound, but he can also block shots, as Mike pointed out earlier.
Chicago getting the new 24. Scott Williams setting the pick. Grant is fouled. Foul by Miller. Puts Phoenix over the limit. Oliver Miller called for his third. When we come back following this timeout, Horace Grant will head to the foul line. Chicago leading by 8. 8 for 10 when he has taken it to the basket. 8 of 14 with the jump shot. In effect, he has been red hot no matter what he has been doing, but Phil Jackson wanted him to put the ball on the floor and take it to the basket. He has 39 points, 54 by Jordan. Game 4 against the Knicks is the high game in the playoffs this season, followed by the 44 by Barkley and Jordan, and then Jordan had 43 game 1 against Cleveland. Most points ever in an NBA Finals game, 61. Scored by the current general manager of the Los Angeles Clippers, Elgin Baylor. He had 61 against the Boston Celtics back in April of 62, followed by 55 by Rick Barry, and Jerry West had a 53-point game against the Celtics back in 69.
You know, I think people forget about those two guys scoring that many points. Now, if I'm Phoenix, what I want to do here is try to keep this game within 10. Make sure you don't let it get over 10 because you got to stay in striking distance. And I think they should now run an inside play to Charles Barkley.
Ball's fortunate to get it back. Here's Jordan. And again, Jordan with it. Armstrong for 3. The Bulls with only their second three-pointer, but they extend to an 11-point advantage.
B.J. Armstrong, the best three-point shooter percentage-wise in the NBA this past regular season.
Johnson rejected by Williams. Last touch by Kevin Johnson. Words between Charles Barkley and Scottie Pippen.
Well, it's the first time that they had words on either side. Today, you had two skirmishes now. This one by Barkley and Pippen, and the other one by Kevin Johnson and B.J. And normally, you haven't had anything in this series.
That little thing between Pippen and Barkley actually started about 2 or 3 minutes ago on a free throw situation where Barkley started to go in a little bit too early. Pippen hit him with a little elbow. Barkley shoved him back, then just stood and looked at him.
Well, to me, I thought both teams have been a little too friendly, and now it's starting to heat up finally.
That's a palming violation. You mentioned a couple of games back that you felt it was wrong for Michael Jordan, and here's another look at Barkley and Pippen having words at close range. You thought it was wrong during the series for Barkley and Jordan, who are friendly, to have dinner, spend that much time together. Williams called for the foul.
Well, I think what I'm trying to say is that you have to have some kind of fear and some kind of, not hate, but dislike for the team if you're going to try to win the championship. And now this series is finally heating up because the other night they all came over, both the Phoenix Suns and the Chicago Bulls was at Michael Jordan's restaurant, and I turned to Quinn Buckner and I said, this is the first time I ever seen two teams that were in the finals having dinner together. And when I played in the championship, I never went out to dinner with any of the guys. I always felt they were the enemy, the other team, and you had to keep it like that.
Yes, we feel the same way about having dinner with the Czar. Same type of situation.
As long as he's paying for it.
Barkley hits 1 out of 2. The other day you were also talking about the no layup rule, which is not in force, it seems, for either club. I know that was something that the Lakers had back in your days under Pat Riley.
Well, Pat Riley told us when we were playing the Boston Celtics that if we let one guy come in for a layup or if we pick a guy up, we would get fined. And the same thing, BJ for a 3. And the same thing that he's doing with the New York Knicks. And you see Michael Jordan is able to drive here in this series anytime he wants to.
All right, Miller able to put it down. So that would tie in with guys are friendly. It'll be unlikely as Jordan tries to slice through, and he is fouled. And Jordan has been able to drive the lane, but with a no layup rule, he would pay. But it's unlikely, what you're saying, that Barkley would be the one to make him pay.
Right, here he comes in, and he went in between the double team and drew the contact. And yeah, well, what happened is Barkley's teammates would look to see if he would take Michael out in terms of just hard fouling. And normally when you're friends, you might not do that.
I just want to mention that last game, Charles Barkley played so many minutes against Bill Cartwright, and he used up so little energy that in the third overtime, he said, I was the freshest player out on the floor. But tonight, that has not been the case. He's been matched up against Horace Grant. He's matched up against Scottie Pippen. Last time he got a rebound, dribbled the length of the floor, made the pass. He's using up a lot more energy tonight. We'll see if it has its effects in the fourth quarter.
Barkley backing Williams. Foul is called as Charles Barkley lands on the floor. Scott Williams called for the foul. Oh, Charles talking it up with Chicago Bulls fans at courtside. Looked like he hurt the elbow.
Barkley gives the little reverse dribble, drop step. The whistle is late, but you'd rather have it correct. Make the call, even if it's a little bit late. Send the guy to the foul line if there's body contact.
Barkley 7 of 9 from the line. Well, Charles with some extracurricular activity. Don't read lips now, guys.
But that's Charles Barkley at his best. You know, he loves to have a conversation with the fans, especially the ones who get on him. He wants to show that he's the man out on the court, and also he tried to turn that into an advantage for his team.
It's no different here than it was in Barcelona, where the people in the arena in some of the countries may not have liked Charles, but yet through the streets of Barcelona, everybody followed the Pied Piper. Same here in Chicago.
And used the same tactics in the series against Seattle. Michael Jordan will do it on the road to get himself back involved. Jordan for Grant. Beautiful pass. The Bulls lead 79-71 with 4:25 remaining in the third quarter. Barkley's pass picked off by Grant. Pippen puts the move on Miller, sets up Grant. And Chicago will maintain possession. Returns. Tom Chambers will sit down. New 24 for the Bulls. Now Barkley guarding Grant. Pippen being played by Ainge. Armstrong. Barkley rebound. Johnson with the crossover. And Jordan gets to it.
The difference between last game for KJ, Kevin Johnson, and this one is he made a couple jumpers early, which got his confidence level up. Right now, he's just 2 for 9 from the floor. Not real confident shooting.
Michael Jordan, very confident shooting the ball. 41 for Jordan. The Bulls lead by 10. Coming up on 3 minutes left, third quarter. Timeout call by Phoenix. Danny Ainge shaken up. Took a poke in the eye.
20 seconds timeout.
Oh, he's upset.
Trying to look inside at his cutters as Pippen comes down right there with the hand. That's where Ainge turns away, having been poked in the eye.
3:01 remaining in the third. Bulls by 10. Kevin Johnson has not done it to this point. He struggled in games 1 and 2, came back strong Sunday in game 3 in that 63-minute performance. A brilliant turnaround, 11 for 24, 25 points, 9 assists, but has not been able to get into it. Dan Marley, rebounded by Scottie Pippen. Bulls with a 10-point lead. Danny Ainge, all right, took a poke in the right eye, but remains on the floor and stays with Scottie Pippen. That's been the matchup. Jordan guarded by Johnson, and a foul call. Ainge coming over to help. Michael Jordan will go to the line. The Suns over the limit. Jordan has struggled from the line. He's 7 of 12 from the line. Kevin Johnson called for his third.
Well, I spoke to Michael before the game and last night, and he said he watched the films, and what he wanted to do was get KJ in a scoring position, try to back him in where he can get into a scoring area and then take it up over him, jump over him, and try to score there.
And the intentions of Phoenix were to come and double team him that time, but Chicago had cleared out the left side of the floor. The double team was coming from the right side. Michael just kept running away from the double team. They couldn't get to him in time.
Bulls now 13 of 22 from the line. Jordan has 43 points. Ainge changed his mind, started to go up, crowd wanted to travel, and then it's thrown away. Oh, Jordan and Ainge trash talking. Ainge with his hands on Jordan. Jordan just told him, get your hands off me.
Exactly. Now it's heating up. This is a series now. The series, I come to expect that it was going to be. Like I said earlier, it was too much friendship earlier, and now they're getting into it the way a series in terms of a championship is supposed to be.
Looked like Jordan and Barkley had some words.
Exactly. So you can't be friends. You're going for something that everybody wants, and that's that diamond ring.
Bulls lead by 12. 2 minutes left, third quarter. Here's King. And he was fouled by Miller.
Let's go back a moment ago to where the little confrontation took place. Michael with the left elbow into Ainge's midsection. There they felt he traveled. Ainge feels the pressure, thinks his teammate's going to float to the right sideline in front of the Bulls bench, but nobody's there. Now Michael's talking to him, letting him know that the pressure's going to get worse. Ainge will take it so far, and then he's going to hold his ground.
Now, what you have in here for Phoenix, you have basically almost their best offensive team in terms of you got the two three-point shooters, the 2 3-point shooters, and Ainge and Marley, and Barkley down low. Now, what Barkley must do is try to create shots for those 2 guys or for himself. Richard Dumas just checked in as well.
Ainge, also one of the Phoenix Suns who did have dinner with Michael Jordan the other night. Bulls by 13. Johnson all the way, and he is fouled. Claiming that he took a hard shot above the left eye. Horace Grant picks up his 4th.
One of the few times that the Chicago defense has not gotten back there to close down the lane. Grant tries to come over late to get the block shot, but Kevin Johnson is already elevated, trying to convert the layup, misses, but gets fouled.
Well, this is Darrell Walker's type of game, and Phil Jackson getting set to insert Darrell for the first time. He has been spotted during this series. Very tenacious defender, very scrappy player, and he will check in. Horace Grant will get a rest. Grant has 4 fouls. He has come up strong, 15 points, 13 rebounds for Grant. Minute 52 to go in the third.
And Marv, this is an important time for the Phoenix Suns. You do not want to let the Bulls get a 13, 14-point lead here and take that into the 4th quarter. Keep the game within, like I said, 10 points or less.
Jordan. And a foul is called as Barkley took a shot. It's the left hand now that's bothering him. Stacey King called for the foul. The Bulls also over the limit, so Barkley will go to the line.
It's there at the end as King pulls on that finger where Charles starts shaking that left hand on the injured pinky finger of the left hand.
This is the most physical game out of the 4 games, out of 3 games that have been played before, this being the 4th game. Now we're starting to see people contest each other. You're starting to see guys get upset, get angry because of all the pushing and shoving that's going on. And like I said, you have to have some sort of dislike for your opponent if you're going to try to win a championship. And we're seeing it finally now.
Charles Barkley once again gutting it out with that sore right elbow, as we reported earlier. The Phoenix Medical staff making the point if this were a regular season game, Charles probably would have sat it out. 22 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals for Barkley. The Bulls lead by 9. 1:20 left in the third. Walker for King. Oh, nice play.
But beautiful passing on the inside. Michael Jordan, as a post-up man, hits Darrell Walker cutting back across the baseline, who throws right back to the area that he vacated. Interior passing. 1, 2, count the basket.
And Barkley goes flying. Foul on King, his third. Charles will return to the foul line.
Now, why do you make a foul like this? For what? You don't want to stop the clock. If you're Chicago, you want the clock to keep running. Make Charles catch it and make a tough move on you. Now, you just fouled him last time, sending him to the free throw line to get 2 free throws. Now you're going to return, foul him again. Now, this will be a chance for Charles to make 4 free throws in a row and also stop the clock, which is in favor of the Phoenix Suns.
Frank Johnson makes his first appearance of the game, and Kevin Johnson will sit down. Kevin Johnson played 22 minutes in the first half after the 63 minutes in the triple overtime. Frank Johnson played well in the losses to the Bulls in Phoenix games 1 and 2.
In the first 3 games of this series, Phoenix is just under 73% from the foul line. During the regular season, they were a 75% free throw shooting team, which placed them 16th in the NBA this evening from the foul line, 22 out of 26. Outstanding for the foul line.
Chicago by 9 with just under 1 minute left. Third quarter. King for Jordan. Barkley rebound. Charles went behind the back, lost it. Paxson, though, could not control, although he's claiming that Barkley deflected it out.
But just the effort by Charles Barkley after he knew that he had turned it over by diving on the floor, getting a piece of it. The ball eventually goes off of Paxson's legs out of bounds. The extra hustle by Charles Barkley.
Shot clock down to 7. Frank Johnson given a shot. Frank Johnson hits the open jumper.
It's a good move by Coach Paul Westphal. What he did is he inserted another shooter in Frankie Johnson, so when they double-teamed Barkley, he had 3 shooters he could throw the ball to.
Pippen decides to pull it back. Bulls holding for a final shot. And a foul called. Now Walker will go to the line, and if there's anyone that the Suns do not mind going to the foul line, it is Darrell Walker, has not spent much time there and is not noted for his free throw shooting, only 50% during the regular season with the Bulls. 8-2 run by the Suns, and the Bulls now lead by 7.
He had no rotation on his shot that time. The ball didn't rotate over. Very flat, so he had to get it up now.
First free throws of this series for Darrell. It's only the second game he's played in the series. Trent Tucker checks back. Richard Dumas sitting down. Bulls having big problems at the line, and it is waved off. Little hesitation by Darrell Walker. It caused one of the Bulls to step in too soon. Like a Chris Dudley free throw.
By Walker bringing the ball back over his head and pausing for a second with it. His teammate crossed the lane line.
And Kevin Johnson able to penetrate, so the Suns come roaring back. Final seconds of the quarter. Pippen. And after 3, the Bulls now lead by 5, a 10-2 run by Phoenix.
Welcome back to America West Arena. Kevin Johnson apparently having some problems with his right thigh with his hamstring, and trainer Joe Prosky treating him with some heating lotion and massaging that leg during the timeout. Marv?
All right, Hannah, the Bulls with an 86-81 lead as we head to the fourth quarter. Michael Jordan has scored 43 of Chicago's 86 points. Michael is 17 for 28. And 9 out of 14 from the foul line. Frank Johnson with the steal. So again, Frank Johnson has come on and has provided spark.
And Ahmad mentioning that coming out of the Chicago huddle, Phil Jackson very upset that, again, it's the second, third game in a row that Chicago has allowed Phoenix a run to get them back within striking distance of leads that Chicago's worked so hard to build up.
Well, remember I was talking about Frank Johnson again from the corner. Remember I was talking about trying to get the lead down within 10 points by the end of the third quarter. Phoenix was able to do that.
A 12-2 run by the Suns. That was not a good shot by Frank Johnson, but Paul Westphal will take it. Jordan got the step and rejected by West. Michael Jordan with the step, West with the block, and here's Marley. Now the Suns regroup. So Frank Johnson operating at point guard with Kevin Johnson sitting it out. West posting up on Jordan, and he's fouled. Scott Williams over to help. Mark West, who is not a good free throw shooter, will go to the line.
They like to clear out for Jordan after timeout, Chicago, and West realizing it, makes the rotation over, gets a piece of it, and says, hey, let's go, we got the ball, don't slow it down. Michael gets caught behind Mark West, too big, too strong for Michael down low.
Scott Williams picks up the foul, his fifth. The Suns have done the job at the line. They are 23 for 27 in contrast to the poor free throw shooting by the Bulls, and the pattern in this series has been the same. You get the idea the Bulls are going to pull away, but they have not been able to. They have allowed the Suns to get back into it. For Phoenix, a 14-2 run, and they are within one.
And with Charles Barkley on the bench, KJ on the bench, Danny Ainge on the bench. So you're doing with guys you don't expect to be in the game playing and scoring like they're doing.
Jordan. Nice pull-up move by Michael Jordan. He has 45. The Bulls lead 88-85.
He had to pull up that time because Oliver Miller made a good defensive rotation along the baseline, got there early. Jordan saw him, pulled up, hit the jumper.
Dumas around Pippen for the reverse. Jackson and Jordan at the guards. Grant caught right, Pippen up front. They isolate Jordan. Paxson open for three. John Paxson hits his second three-pointer. Bulls lead 91-85.
I was just about to say that Phoenix had quieted the crowd back down again, but then Paxson energizes him with the three.
Foul is called, a hold on Paxson.
What John did, he tried a veteran move. He tried to pull Frank Johnson down on him to make it seem like it was an offensive foul. You're going to see it right here. Watch John Paxson just grab and pull Frank Johnson down like, hey, I didn't do it, but he did do it.
Once again, John Paxson has come on to provide a lift for the Bulls. He's hit 2 3-pointers. He's done it right throughout the playoffs, although he has not gotten the minutes on a regular basis. It's been an injury-hit season for John Paxson. We asked him how difficult is it receiving the inconsistent playing time and then coming through.
For guys coming off the bench, it means everything. Especially my situation, I don't get a whole lot of opportunities shot-wise to contribute, and so when you come in and they look for you right away and you knock a few down, your teammates start looking for you more. They gain a little confidence in you again. So for me, it's a big boost. It's something I want to carry on the rest of the way.
After the first 3 games, John Paxson had only 7 shot attempts. This evening, 2 for 4, so he has 4 field goal attempts. He's made 2 3-pointers.
Barkley fouled by Grant. John Paxson has played 15 minutes tonight. Horace Grant called for his 5th from the Phoenix side of the ledger. Kevin Johnson, despite the leg injury, is back on the floor. Here's Scott Williams returning, and Chicago in foul trouble. Williams has 5. And Phil Jackson would rather take a chance with Scott Williams picking up his 6th than Horace Grant. Here's Johnson. Yes, Kevin Johnson with only his 4th field goal. He has 12. The Bulls now lead 91-87.
It's really a surprise that Paul Westphal has Richard Dumas out there. Normally in the 4th quarter, Richard Dumas is sitting on the bench, and Danny Ainge or Tom Chambers is in the game, but he's elected to go with Dumas, and that was a foul by Mark West. He had his arm wrapped around Bill Cartwright and wouldn't let him go for the offensive rebound.
For West, it is number 5, and the Suns upset about that call. Mark West has played very strong right throughout, and he's received the playing time. Bulls by 4. 8:35 remaining in the game. Pippen got the step, and the call is number 6 on West.
It's going to be a big foul for Phoenix, because Mark West was doing a very good job of battling on the glass, making his rotations, getting a block here or there. He steps up, he feels it plenty of time, but those arms perhaps leaning forward, breaking the plane where the contact took place is what was called.
8 points for West. Tom Chambers replaces him, and the Bulls are now 14 for 26 at the line. Foul run down. West disqualified. 5 for Miller. 5 apiece on Williams and Grant. Paxson now will sit down. Armstrong is back. Scottie Pippen had foul trouble earlier in the series, had a 3 for 9, and then appeared to straighten things out. He is 0 for 2 tonight, and the free throw shooting has hurt the Bulls.
And it could cost them before the night is over. It could cost them this game, so we're going to keep a watch on that.
They are not a good foul shooting team. That's the case throughout the regular season. On the turnover, Pippen gets it to Jordan. And Jordan looks to settle it down. Regroups. Shot clock at 7. And Jordan is fouled. Dumas called for his 3rd. Even Michael Jordan has had his problems at the line. 9 of 14 from the, no, it is a non-shooting foul. Bulls thought that Michael was in the act. Pippen for Williams.
Well, see, now you're starting to see that with Mark West sitting on the bench, Chicago Bulls are now attacking the basket. They're taking ball to the basket because there's no shot blockers in the game for Phoenix.
Chicago leads by 6. Barkley feeling around for the presence of Williams. Chambers. And Dumas able to score with the putback. He has 17. The Bulls 93. The Suns 89. 7:10 left in the game. Armstrong. A.J. Armstrong has been off. Johnson with the ball fake, went all the way. Here comes Jordan. For Michael Jordan. The Bulls 95, the Suns 89.
What Paul Westphal was upset about is he felt that when Kevin Johnson went to the basket, they were riding him out on the hip, and that's the reason he didn't finish the play.
It counts, and the foul. Charles Barkley will go to the line.
You talk about guys going strong. Let's go back first, though, to Michael Jordan, who sees the opportunity. Chambers does not step up high enough, but then again, with Michael floating, who can?
Now, Charles Barkley gonna feel Williams, and he's gonna spin on him, but then he's gonna dunk it right over Scottie Pippen. You talking about a strong man going to the hole. He was a possessed man. He wanted that 2 points.
Scott Williams called for the foul, so that is number 6. He is gone. 6.5 remaining of the game. Timeout is called. Bulls by 4. It has been a Michael Jordan explosion tonight. 19 for 32, 47 points in all. And he is headed in the direction of a 7th career 50-plus game in the playoffs. His all-time high in the playoffs, 63, April of '86 against the Boston Celtics. He had a 54-point game against the Knicks in May in the Eastern Conference Final Series.
Well, Marv, it's either going to take him to score probably about almost 60 tonight to win this game, or it's going to take him to get more assists right here in these last 6 minutes and 30 seconds. He's going to have to come up with either more offense or more assists for the Chicago Bulls to win.
Well, only 4 of his 47 here in the 4th quarter. And with Michael the other night, hit only 6 of his last 20 from the field. Bill Cartwright with an opportune time for his first field goal. The Bulls lead 97-91.
Well, we got that matchup again. Tom Chambers on Bill Cartwright, so maybe the Bulls will go and try to attack Tom Chambers.
Pippen is guarding Barkley. Cartwright over to help. Chambers open. Jordan knocked it away. Pippen with the hesitation dribble, looking for the shot that changed his mind.
Barkley was by himself on the glass, nobody else helping out.
Shot clock at 7. Jordan played by Barkley. Shot clock at 3. Paxson. Harley rebounds.
In the first half, Phoenix had 3 3-pointers go down for him. Here in the second half, no 3-point field goal.
Well, right now, Phoenix have their best offensive team out on the court right now.
And Johnson takes it to the basket. Beautiful penetration move by Kevin Johnson. He has 14. The Bulls 97. The Suns 93. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the game. And a foul called on Marley. It's a non-shooting foul for Phoenix, their 4th.
KJ winding his way down the lane, gets an opportunity to get a look and a conversion. They've come few and far between in this game.
Let's remember, for the Phoenix team, this is the team that really won the game for them in Game 3. So you got their best offensive team out there, and they can really score.
Whoa, Pippen with the pass that had too much on it, got away. And Phoenix will get it back. Pressure by the Bulls. Armstrong picking up Johnson in the backcourt and then dropping back.
Okay, Tom Chambers just told KJ, let's go pick and roll because I can take Bill Cartwright.
And Cartwright out to pick up the foul. That is 4 on Cartwright and put Chicago over the limit.
One other reason, Chambers was the guy in the last game who was setting the good screens, the hard screens that got KJ into double-team situations. He was unable to throw back to Chambers, who would either take a jumper or take it to the basket.
Phoenix 24 of 29 from the line. Kevin Johnson, a good free throw shooter, 82%.
Did you say a good free throw shooter? You jinxed him, see?
Put the whammy on.
Yep. You know, right here, if I'm Phoenix, I would go to Tom Chambers every time down. I would pull him outside anywhere, the free throw line or out on the 3-point line, give it to him and let him go isolation against Cartwright.
Chicago leads by 3. Bulls try to take a 3-1 lead in this best of 7. Phoenix attempting to tie it at 2 with Game 5 here in Chicago Friday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time, right here on NBC. Crossover move for Jordan and finishes with the finger roll plus the foul.
crosses over right to left. I cannot stay with him. I know it's coming, and there it is, right to left. He gets the step, and then the elevation, and then the finish.
Well, what happens is Michael Jordan knows his foot speed is better than Dan Marley's, and he's just using all the quickness that he has.
And for Jordan, 50 points. The Bulls lead 100, 94. 4 minutes remaining of the game. Chant of defense. Michael Jordan with 50 of the Bulls, 100 points. Johnson got the step. Jordan with the ball. Pippen is rejected by Barkley. Knocked out of bounds by Ainge. What a play by Jordan, who was able to elevate, extend in the air as he made certain he had someone to pass the ball to.
And then somebody just happened to be Scottie Pippen, and the guy that just happened to block the shot happened to be Charles Barkley, who, going back in the game earlier, had a few words for one another when there was some bumping and shoving going on, and Charles reminded him once again that that was me that got that block.
So 3:35 remaining in this fourth quarter. The Bulls 100, the Suns 94 as Charles and Scotty get together. Armstrong. The Bulls 102, the Suns 94. 3.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Charles Barkley has been quiet in the fourth quarter.
Well, he's been quiet because they haven't gone to him. They're using this pick and roll play with Kevin Johnson and Tom Chambers. Now in game 3, they went to Chambers and Barkley, but this time they're not going to either one of them.
Charles has played 43 of the 45 minutes up to this point, and in the fourth quarter, we worried would fatigue set in. Kevin Johnson hits a baseline jumper. We wondered if fatigue would set in for Charles because he was guarding different people other than Bill Cartwright. He has 2 points, no rebounds, and 1 block in the fourth quarter.
It is Chicago by 6. Michael Jordan has 50 points. Ainge gunning for the steal, knocked it out of bounds. Armstrong and Jordan in the backcourt. Pippen up front with Cartwright and Grant. Bulls with their starting lineup intact. Jordan. Rebound Marley. So the jump shot has been off in the second half for Michael Jordan. Johnson. Yes. Kevin Johnson has turned it up in the second half, and he's brought the Suns within 4 with 2:35 remaining in the game. Scottie Pippen taking advantage of a double team on Jordan, and then he's called for a double. No, wait a moment. Jump ball. A jump ball. The call was changed, and the Suns are upset.
What they're saying is that the defensive player, as Pippen went up, blocked the shot. Therefore, Scottie came down, and that's what caused him to then start dribbling again. So they're calling it a jump ball. He goes up, he comes down, the piece of the ball, then he touches the ground. Good call.
Good call. Good call. This is an important jump ball right here, the possession of it.
And it's controlled by Chicago. Jordan using the official Hugh Evans as a screen, and then he's pushed. Oh, Ainge and Jordan going at each other. Ainge and Jordan had a incident earlier, and they continue to talk. Michael had the finger pointed in the face of Ainge. He did not like
personal foul, Phoenix 22.
Did not like the body work from Ainge. The personal was called on Ainge and a double technical on Jordan, and Ainge handed out.
I still say that here's the play again. Now, you're going to watch it right here. After the foul, Michael throws his elbow up. Danny was hollering for an elbow. Then they got tangled up here. Danny gets mad, grabs the ball. Michael, they're just exchanging right now. But I still say if Phoenix is going to have a chance to win this game, they must go to Barkley or Tom Chambers. KJ is trying to do it, but I don't think he can do it by himself.
Jordan is 11 for 16 from the line. He has 51 points. The Bulls have a 5-point lead. 2:20 remaining in the game. Chicago 104. Phoenix 98. Now Barkley backing Grant, who's playing with 5. Nice move by Charles Barkley off the spin to bring the Suns within 4.
And that's all because of the concern that Chicago has with the three-point shooting of Phoenix. Nobody came to double Charles. He takes him one-on-one.
Chicago playing the clock. Jordan with the step. Jordan going glass. Rebound Grant. That's a big bucket for Horace Grant, giving Chicago a 6-point lead.
See, that's what happens when you get 2 or 3 guys trying to stop Michael Jordan. Horace Grant is open for open shots.
Oh, nice pass. Johnson setting up Chambers. Knocked out of bounds by the Bulls. Tom Chambers could not stuff it.
It's the second time that Chambers has tried to dunk a ball this evening, and it just won't stay in.
Barkley for 3. Rebound Marley. Fires for 3. Rebound Barkley. And that's a goaltend. The basket will count.
Well, the Phoenix Suns are fortunate. They don't need threes right now. It's only a 6-point game. But because of the offensive rebound by Charles Barkley of Dan Marley's missed 3-point, the basket is good.
Suns have 3 timeouts left. Bulls 2 and a 20. 1:20 remaining in this 4th quarter. Chicago with the ball and a 4-point lead. Jordan flashing in the paint. Rebound Chambers. Johnson eluding Armstrong. Finding Barkley, and the Suns move within 2 with 1:01 remaining. Phil Jackson takes a timeout.
Now, Kevin Johnson has been penetrating the last 2 times down. This time, he's going to find an open man in Barkley for the slam dunk.
So the Suns keep coming back. We'll be back in a moment. Back in Chicago, another stirring finish. Chicago with a 2-point lead, 1:01 remaining. That's the timeout rundown. The Bulls have had major problems at the foul line. It has hurt them, while Phoenix has done the job at the line. 81%, 25 for 31. Look at Chicago, 17 for 30 at the line. Let's go over to Ahmad Rashad.
All right, Marv, in that timeout, the entire team kept saying 1 bucket, 1 stop. That's their rallying cry. Marv?
All right, and here are the Bulls looking for that 1 bucket with 50 seconds remaining. They have a 2-point lead. Jordan double team. And Barkley with the steal. Here comes Johnson. He has Marley. Marley is stripped. Dan Marley was stripped on the 2-on-1.
Again, in game 3, Charles Barkley came up with the big steal. Here's a big steal again in this game 4. Charles Barkley read the play. He kind of baited Pippen into throwing it over there. He read it all the way, got it up to KJ. Instead of getting a basket, a beautiful play right there by Scottie Pippen to knock it out of bounds.
As we showed you that steal a moment ago, this time it's Pippen with the strip to break up the 2-on-1, but Barkley was able to do it in game 3 against Stacey King. He does it right here. When we come back, it will be Phoenix ball. 39 and 4/10 seconds remaining in the 4th. The Bulls with a 2-point lead. Both clubs are over the limit, and it will be Phoenix ball off the deflection on that 2-on-1 break by the Suns a moment ago. Kevin Johnson will inbound. Pippen reaching around. Last touched by Pippen.
Okay, you got 2 mismatches here for Phoenix. You got Charles Barkley, either go to the post and go to him, or I would take Tom Chambers draw clock right out and go at him.
The steal by Armstrong. Armstrong took it away from Kevin Johnson.
They want to play good defense without fouling right now.
There is a 7-second disparity between the shot clock and the game clock. Jordan, yes, and it counts.
You know, it would have been better for Charles to foul him all the way than halfway fouling.
Foul called on Barkley. 4-point lead for Chicago. Michael Jordan, 12 of 17 from the line. Gunning for point number 55. The Bulls lead by 5, 13 and 3/10 seconds remaining in regulation. And the Suns take a timeout. They're down to 1 timeout left.
Just when Phoenix had come out of the timeout, set up a play to try and tie the score. The inbound pass is fumbled, picked off by B.J. Armstrong, and then Chicago tries to use the clock.
And remember, I was talking about whether Charles would hard foul Michael Jordan. It was time for that hard foul right there. Instead of hard fouling, he lets Jordan get it up, and he compounded by fouling him, and it's a chance for the three-point play.
The Bulls by 5. We'll be back in a moment.
Jordan puts the ball on the floor, goes to the basket to try and initiate contact. Instead of taking his arms down, Charles Barkley tries to move under him for the offensive foul. No good. Too much concentration, too much elevation. Michael Jordan on the drive to the basket gives Chicago the lead.
And Michael Jordan with 55 points has tied Rick Barry for the second highest total in an NBA Finals game. Elgin Baylor with 61. Rick Barry had 55 back in 67 against Philadelphia. And now Michael Jordan with 55.
Charles made a major mistake there. He should have, like Mike said, take his arms out. You got to put Michael on the floor, make him go to the free throw line where the whole Bulls team have been struggling, and you got a better chance. You got to take that chance to foul him, take him out.
13 and 3/10 seconds. Phoenix needing a quick bucket. Marley passed on the 3 and then was fouled. And that's not bad. It stops the clock. Not bad from the Phoenix point of view with 9 and 5/10 seconds remaining. Dan Marley, who has been very quiet in the second half after that 3-point shooting display at the end of the second quarter, will go to the line. He's 0 for 1 from the line. Michael Jordan called for the foul. And Marley, a 78% foul shooter.
Watch out now here, because Dan might go for the make and then try to miss make the first one, might try to go to miss the second one. So let's see what happens here. Well, he won't get that opportunity because he missed the first one.
Well, right here I could see him trying to miss on purpose.
Right, the second
after missing.
Right, but I don't think he'll do it now because he missed the first one. Oh, he tried it,
yes,
but
he did.
But it didn't work for him.
4-point lead, pressure by the Suns, who'll get the foul. Frank Johnson will send B.J. Armstrong to the line.
If I can go back to that play by Michael Jordan, see the difference between Barkley foul and Michael Jordan foul. He didn't give Marley a chance to get the ball up to the hoop, and Charles Barkley gave Michael Jordan a chance to shoot the ball.
So Armstrong, an 86% free throw shooter, will go to the line. Here's Marley. Yes, looked like he was trying to bang it off the back of the rim. So he tries to hit the first and misses. He tries to miss the second and hits.
Right. It just worked out opposite for him.
7 and 2/10 seconds remaining, fourth quarter. 110, 105, Chicago. Armstrong with his first appearances on the line. Six-point Chicago lead. Time running out on the Suns here in game 4. Miller fires. So the Chicago Bulls have taken a 3-1 lead on the Phoenix Suns. Despite shooting 53% from the foul line, check that, 60% from the foul line. They shoot 53% from the field, and led by Michael Jordan, who had 55 points. The Bulls win it 111-105. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Marv. Michael, the Phoenix Sun caught you guys a little emotionally down on Sunday. That didn't happen tonight.
Well, I think we learned from that game the other night. I know we had a dog fight. We had our chances to win, but we knew we didn't play extremely well. We knew we could play better basketball. Today we still had some lapses in the 48-minute game, but you know we struggled down the stretch, but we did what we had to do to win ball game.
When I talked to you this afternoon, I have never seen you more determined than you were before this game tonight.
Well, I was very disappointed with the way I played last game. You know, I had a lot of chances to win the ball game, and I didn't really converge on it. So I wanted to, do my part this game and hopefully give ourselves a chance to win the game.
Did you worry at any time that maybe the other guys weren't getting involved in the offense?
Yeah, I was a little nervous, at the beginning of the game because I was getting some easy shots, I was getting some penetration, some layups, and I didn't know how the guys were going to stay within the game. But I think they did a good job. I think we did a good job of keeping them involved.
One of the things, it looked like one of your strategies was to get to the hoop more.
Well, we didn't get many fouls last game, and I said, I'm going to get some fouls. If I don't get fouls, I'm going to get some easy layups. So I had to go to the hole.
All right, congratulations to you, and we'll see you on Friday.
All right.
All right, thanks, Michael. Back to you, Marv.
All right, Ahmad. So Michael Jordan with 21 of 37, 55 points in all. Charles Barkley, despite the sore elbow, 32 points and 12 rebounds.